Hey, here we go. Check this out.
This is Whole Nother Level with Dwayne Lindo.
You know, frankly, I feel that we shouldn't even be talking about this. Simple as that.
The great L. Bushman.
They'd have to make so many adjustments, but I don't know what they have to do. They need a miracle. They need a miracle.
Frank Mazzei.
Did they win the offseason in free agency? Yes. What does that mean? Absolutely nothing.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Craig Cousin.
How can you not put Tom Brady number one on the Mount Rushmore of quarterbacks? Man, this guy's a legend. Rings speak.
And Eric Wilson.
I didn't know Eric was going to let you talk.
Don't hate the player, hate the game. I've seen enough Facebook posts to know that you're not a Giants fan. Let's go. And welcome everyone to another edition of Whole Nother Level. We are here, HNL3 at Co-Work Studios. I'm your man Eric Wilson, joined by Dr. Cece's in the building. Craig Cousin, good morning.
Dun. Go Bulls.
Oh yeah.
A big win last night.
I was like,
against
what?
a Big Ten team. You know, we'll take it where we can get it.
Can I say one thing?
Sure.
Penalties.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Tons
And tons of penalties.
That was a lot. I mean, so much so that our main man Scribbles was just all over Twitter last night going penalties. Oh, there's another one. I'm like,
It was so bad because and they were saying at halftime that just let him play.
Slows the game down.
Just let him play,
Yeah.
man.
That game was so long. So one of my buddies offered me tickets to that game, but it was too late. Free tickets too, and then he put them on Facebook. And somebody scooped them up, but he ended up going as well, and he was just like, "Dude, this game." It was still going on at like 11:30 at night. It started at 7.
I turned it off.
I got home at like 1 in the morning.
I turned it off. I think mid fourth quarter. I was like, I gotta go to sleep, man. I'm tired. This thing is not ending. This is like almost like a baseball game.
Yeah.
oh, speaking of baseball games, 15 innings last night with the Rays. 15 innings.
I stopped watching.
Yeah, but still, I was like, "Are you kidding me?" And then, what was the final score? Like 13-6.
13
put
to
up
6.
7 runs in the
7 runs in the 15th inning.
Unbelievable. I was like, and by the way, Great L. Bushman, good morning. How are you?
I'm good. I'm actually awake.
I know.
I didn't go and drink last night.
Oh,
I'm saving it all for tonight. That's why.
I did. I had 2 bottles. So yeah.
2 bottles?
Of wine.
Jeez.
Okay.
You got to save your liver for tonight, man.
No, I'll be fine.
Okay. We have a bachelor party to go to.
We do.
Yeah, nice.
It starts at
That's
11.
fun.
Starts at 11:30. So we're leaving out of here and heading right over to Anderson Racetrack or something.
It starts at
It's
11:30 in the morning.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
We're
That's the way to
doing.
do it. You
We're
got a
doing.
bachelor day.
Well, there's times where we're going to do go-karts for a couple hours. Then
Yep.
we
Okay.
have time to go home and change and nap. And
Yep.
then
Okay.
dinner is at PH, and then we'll go to DH and all the other places.
There you go.
Okay.
So
Cool.
yeah, it's going to be a fun evening. But we will be in rare form tomorrow, just kind of giving you a forewarning. And
I know I'll be.
And let all our fans know that
I wouldn't expect anything less.
we'll probably be right there with Steve tomorrow. Hey, you guys are back! Thank God!
I'm sure it's going to be Christmas for him too.
Oh my God! He's
Well,
gonna
I
be
saw
so
him
excited.
when we did our draft at
Yeah.
Old School. He was like, "Oh, I can't wait to see you guys. I've been waiting a whole year." I thought he was going to cry.
Good.
Honestly.
Yeah.
He had a moment. He
And
really
he did. He had a moment. He did.
But anyhow, 813-699-5353 is the number to call and chime in.
I feel weird.
We are on iTunes, Raw
Sitting
Talk
like this,
Online,
Eric.
Spreaker.com.
I feel
You all right?
like
Well,
I'm
I
at
think it's also because we're holding these mics.
I
you
know.
and
I'd
these, like,
rather have
small
something
cords here.
on the table.
You can put your elbows
Usually
on
you
the
talk
table.
with your
It's all right.
hands.
I know. I talk. I do the. Yeah.
It's okay. You'll be all right.
I-
We'll make
I
it
will
We're
work.
be-
improvising though.
I know.
We are. It's 1 week. We will make it work. But, okay, we did the show Thursday at the Office Bar.
Yes.
The game happened.
Did it really? I'm
was
not
a
too sure it happened. It was so
terrible,
terrible.
terrible game.
And this is what I'm saying about – I keep going back to Thursday night games. Like this Thursday night game is the Rams against the 49ers.
Well, the problem is they try to get everybody a primetime game, and it seems like to me that they put a lot of the crappier teams on Thursdays.
Yeah.
But because they know they're still going to draw an audience. At the same time, like, the way I look at it is like, yeah, the games haven't been the greatest, but, some football is better than no football. I'm still watching.
No, of course. And we'll be there, and we'll break down the game. We'll talk fantasy. But I was just like, can we at least put something of substance? Because look at it like this. You go from opening night, which is New England, Kansas City.
Which was a great game.
Which was a great game.
Great game.
And then from there, you go to Houston, Cincinnati. And
But
then
if
you go to
But wait,
Rams
if
49ers.
you look at it in the grand scheme of things, though, I didn't think Cincinnati would be 0-2, and Houston's supposed to be a playoff team. So, like, technically, on paper, that matchup's pretty good.
Okay. All right.
You know, granted, Tom Savage, Deshaun Watson,
And nobody expected Cincinnati to be this bad.
I did.
they can't even score.
God. Well, they can't score. Now they fired their OC. So
Yeah,
a new
so
OC
that's the
in
answer.
That is the answer.
That's the
Well,
answer.
the owner should have fired the OC, fired Marvin Lewis, and booted Andy Dalton out. Literally, I would bring him in the office and be like, listen, you got one more game to prove yourself. If you don't pick it up, we're putting in A.J. McCarron. Like, literally, your back's against the wall.
And I'd say the same thing to Marvin Lewis. Listen, if you don't get a win, you and Andy Dalton are both gone.
Nah, Marvin Lewis is going to get an extension.
He will.
He's gonna get an
He'll lose and
extension.
get a 3-year extension.
He'll go 5-11. He'll still get an extension.
And what are they doing with this backfield? So there's no rhythm at all. I think Mixon had about 7 or 8 carries. Jeremy Hill had 6 carries, and Gio Bernard had 5 carries.
And what did I tell you on Thursday? None of them would get over 60 yards. None of them.
None of them even have a chance, I don't think.
So I'm just saying.
There's no rhythm in that backfield at all. Like, I understand running back by committee to a certain extent, but you have to have at least one running back get double-digit carries, or else it's pointless.
Nope. Not going to happen. Not on Cincinnati's squad. I just listen. Congratulations to Deshaun Watson. He got his victory on his birthday. It was a low-scoring game. It was only 13-9. So I mean, Craig, I think you were the closest out of all of us
As far as taking the under, yeah.
as far as taking the under. But I mean, man,
got the game wrong though. I thought Cincinnati was going to win.
I told you Houston was going to win.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. That was granted, we'll give all the credit to Deshaun Watson because he's the one with the legs and got it done. But that was a huge breakdown on defense on, I think, a 3rd and 20 situation. And you let him run for a touchdown, like a 60-yard touchdown.
But that just
kind of looks like a little hybrid, though. It looked a little bit in between a Michael Vick, but not as fast, and then a Vince Young to me. That's kind of how he looked the other night. And you can say what you want about Vince Young. I'm still under the impression that Jeff Fisher got him out of the league.
Oh, yeah. Jeff Fisher is a quarterback killer. That's what he does. But
he's also a running back killer, too.
You think so?
Todd Gurley had a shitty year last year.
Yeah.
I'm still mad about.
Let it go.
I am.
Just
I'm okay.
move on.
I'm okay with it.
You know what? I know for fantasy purposes
He's
he
on
did
your
you
team
dirty.
now. He's on your team now.
But he's doing well for me.
What, he had 50 yards and a touchdown?
I beat you, didn't I?
Shut up.
Speaking of fantasy purposes, so I made a trade. And
you did.
I'm not sure if I like my trade that I made or not. I don't know what to think of it. So I want to get you guys' perspective on it. I traded away Adrian Peterson, and I traded away Zeke Elliott.
For who?
And I'm getting Odell Beckham Jr., and I'm getting C.J. Anderson. And now the reason why I did this is, well, actually, it's a kind of a coin flip. First off, I don't know when Odell Beckham's coming back. He could come back this week. It could be 3 weeks.
Right.
4
Well, they're
weeks.
saying he's going to be playing Monday.
I hope so.
You say, well, I need him to come
And
back.
I also don't know if Zeke's getting suspended this year. The more and more I look into it, I'm like, probably not. It's probably going to be like a Tom Brady situation maybe next year, but there's still a chance that he gets suspended. So
honestly, I kind of like the trade because AP, he's done.
that was my thought.
He's done.
Yeah.
He looks terrible, and he can't even get on the field.
And then the conversation that did or did not happen between him and Sean Payton,
Something happened.
Something happened.
And
I can see it with my own
And you're getting
2
back. You're getting OBJ, he's going to play throughout the season, no matter
He's a top
what.
3 wideout.
Depending on what week he comes back. And then C.J. Anderson is a serviceable running back, so you can plug him in as the flex.
Yeah.
Zeke, like you said, we don't know if he's going to get suspended or not. So if he does, then you're screwed for about 6 games without a running back.
That's
so
what I'm saying.
I like the trade.
And
You're giving away.
the crazy thing about it is I have Antonio Brown, so I'm gonna
yes.
put out a lineup that has Antonio Brown and Odell Beckham as my 2 starting
who
wideouts.
traded you?
Another guy in the league that wanted Zeke. He wanted to upgrade his running back position.
Did anybody look at your lineup before that and say, "What are you doing?" Not you, but the guy trading you. Because now you have pretty much the 2 top guys, 2 top receivers,
Other than Julio, yeah.
For fantasy
and
purposes,
Mike
yeah.
Evans too.
Yeah.
Don't forget about Mike Evans.
Yeah, I got him.
That's true. I got Gronk at the tight end position. So it's a 14-team league.
What?
And I waited on a
Who do you
quarterback.
draft
I
with?
waited on a quarterback, so I picked Matt Stafford, and he got me 43 points last
Hold
week.
on a second. You're in a 14-man league.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now you have Antonio Brown.
So my first 3 picks, I had the 3rd overall selection, so I picked Antonio Brown.
and that's a long wait.
It came back around a long time.
Yeah.
I actually picked Gronk. Nobody wanted to touch Zeke Elliott because they thought he was going to be suspended.
Right.
It came back around. I said, you know what? I can't. The value's way too good. I almost took him in my 2nd round pick.
Yeah.
Picked him there, and that's where I'm sitting at now.
Who are you drafting with?
I don't know.
Have
I'm
they
drafting
ever?
with Russell. By the way, he's in 14th after week 1, and
I
he's
know.
like, "Oh, everybody that should have won lost last week." I'm like, "No, I should have won, and I won.
So wait, okay, and you
Plus,
got
he's got Jeremy Maclin.
and you got Matthew Stafford.
Yep.
Matthew
As you
Stafford,
start- if
Jeremy
you-
Macklin, Emmanuel Sanders. I have Jordan Matthews. Who else do I have? Oh, Terrence West.
Terrence West, Jacquees Rogers, New England's defense, Rex, Burkhead.
No, that's an old one. I dropped.
Oh, you did?
I dropped New England's defense after that.
Is it standard or PPR?
It is a half point PPR. Yes.
And I'm sure you have Alan Hearns, right? Do you keep him?
Might as well.
You know what? I should have kept him, but I dropped him prior to Allen Robinson getting hurt. But I did hit the waiver wire. I got Cooper Kupp, and then I got the other running back in New Orleans, Kamara, which I think is going to, over the course of the season, is going to be
He'll
better
take
in
over.
a PPR league.
He'll take over.
So who's your
AP
kickers
spot.
now that Sturgis is out? Who'd you get?
Kicker,
Yeah,
really?
I picked. I mean, that's,
Here, Eric,
I actually have to look at my phone.
Eric, here's the
My
thing.
best
Here's
available.
the thing about kickers.
What?
You can add drop kickers each week.
Yeah.
I know.
Kickers
but I'm
aren't
just
really
curious.
a big-
Listen, we're
Let me just
going
pull
through
it.
his fantasy lineup. I'm just curious.
Let me just pull it up. Let me pull it up for you.
I have his original.
I like
lineup.
Kumara
And
because
I have Greg Olson too, so I have two tight ends.
Yeah,
you
you
have
got Olsen.
Gronk and Olsen.
And
Yeah.
Olsen. And you can start a wide receiver, running back, or tight end in the double flex
You're
position.
you drafted with a bunch of idiots.
No, but here's the thing. He got Gronk in the second round, turned around and got Olsen in the fourth.
Yep.
What the?
And the reason why I did that is for two reasons. Number one, I thought he was the best value there. I could use him as trade bait if I needed a running back or wide receiver moving forward, and I can start him. So, like last week, I started both Gronk and Olsen. I won, mostly because Matt Stafford put up 43 points.
Yeah.
But
I like Kumara because he's going to overshadow AP. He's going to go in the number 2 slot.
here's the deal, though. I'm thinking about starting Jacquizz Rodgers.
I would.
We'll see what happens. I'm
I would.
thinking about putting
I
him
would.
in my flex.
I would start him against Chicago, even though Chicago's really stingy on the run. I would definitely start.
Well, anytime that Doug Martin's been out, Jacquizz has put
He's-
up about 100 yards rushing.
He's
and
a very
pretty decent fantasy
He's
points.
a very underrated running back. I mean, he's a really good slot receiver too. So
he was
I
good
mean,
in Atlanta. Going back to the Atlanta
He's
days.
going to get so many touches on Sunday, and it's a good thing you have half point PPR too. So I like that. You should plug him in.
So yeah, this trade's supposed to go through hopefully, unless everybody vetoes it down. But
Oh, they can
we'll
veto
see.
it. Ooh.
It has to be 8 people.
Oh, really? That's a lot to get vetoed.
Someone's gonna stick it to you just to
Just
do
yeah.
it.
Just
Well, I
to
already
stick-
know. Russell voted down, Tall Paul voted down, and Joe voted down. And I
Oh,
said,
well.
"Why'd you guys vote down?" He's like, "Well, I saw that Zeke's or Odell's going to be out 6 to 8 weeks. So I'm trying to help you out." I'm like, "Dude, I'm the one that made the trade. Don't help me out."
Right.
If you think it's even or not even, that's when you voted down.
All right, so here's a fantasy question right for you. And I put that on Twitter. I'm not going to ask that question. The Rivers Breeze thing.
Oh.
Because everybody's laughing at me.
Well, I just had to laugh at you because you called me out when I tried.
Well, I called in Drew Garabo's show yesterday.
Okay.
And I said, hey, I got a fantasy conundrum. I got, 2 quarterbacks. I got Breeze and Rivers. Who do I start? Drew was like, okay, that's a pretty good options. You can go 1 or 2. And then they had John Senning on, who's kind of like the whipping boy for them. He's like, well, you should start Rivers. I'm like, okay, good. And he's like, you dummy. I'm like, well, you can go either way. I mean, come on. Drew Brees can slice up New England's defense.
Yep.
Rivers is going against Miami. You could put up a lot of points there. So why would you call me a dummy?
Yeah.
So I picked up David Johnson on,
Okay.
on waivers.
Yeah.
Somebody dropped him. He's going to be gone. He probably won't be back till December. Do you think it was a good pickup?
The problem is if you have a deep bench, absolutely.
I do. I have a deep bench.
Now you don't know if you're going to be in the playoffs, race or not. So that's where you got to come there. But at the same time, like if you can get a caliber of player back in December and you are in the race, you just took a
Because I also
you just took
have
a big step up.
I also have Kerwin Williams, who's going to be starting for Arizona this week too. So I have him, and then
I'm interested to see how that backfield is going to shake out because
Well,
they
they-
brought C.J. Johnson back.
Yeah, they
CJ
brought him
2K,
back.
if you will. They still got Andre Ellington there, which is probably going to do Scott back third down, and they signed our running back off our practice squad, DJ Foster.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh.
which he's good at catching the ball and running
They're
the ball.
scrambling for running backs right now.
Yeah.
in Arizona.
It's interesting. I'm surprised D'Angelo Williams hasn't got signed. By the way, speaking of running backs,
He's doing wrestling right now. He doesn't want to play football.
no.
Yeah, he's doing. Is he in WWE right now? Is he still
I
at
don't know if
NXT?
he's it.
Rashad Jennings, Dancing with the Stars, he won it, and they can't even get a job now in the best shape of his
I
life.
He was a terrible running back.
I thought D'Angelo Williams was TNA.
he might be. Yeah, I think he might be TNA.
He's TNA.
But
I mean,
yeah,
if you're
he's
TNA, you better get back to the NFL.
he's having a good time there, man.
Right.
He's been tweeting out saying he loves this, loves wrestling, loves it.
Less chance of a concussion, I heard.
So here's my lineup for this Sunday going up against our boy, Mr. Schlanger. I've got Derek Carr,
What a great porn name.
Gillis Lee,
Hi, I'm Lee Schlanger. Did somebody order a pizza?
Todd Gurley, Crabtree, Terrell Pryor Sr., Ertz, Ike Evans. I've got Minnesota's defense, and I've got
You actually have a really good
He
team.
does.
How'd you pull this off, Eric?
it's a 10-man league.
Oh, everybody has a good
Well,
team.
we had a 14-man league, and then 2 people didn't show up, and then another 2 people didn't show up for the draft. So we're like, fuck it, we'll just do a 10-man league.
Wow.
Yeah, we just dropped down to
Commitments,
it.
everybody.
Who are these
commitments.
people that are committing to the league?
Work people.
Yeah.
Thought was Lindo in there too?
No.
this is another league.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the work league. Lindo's in another league. His team is terrible.
His teams are already so terrible. He's the worst.
Should I
draft
read
think.
off his league
What
right
do
now?
you
you
had?
should.
What do you had? 24
Please.
points?
He had 24 points last week total.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not
No.
kidding you.
What do
Yeah.
you start everybody that got injured? He had Allen Robinson guaranteed, right?
Oh my god,
Who else did he have?
it was
He
terrible.
had David Johnson. He got injured. No, who do you have?
No, he
Seriously.
didn't have David Johnson. Here, let me pull up his team real quick.
Yeah.
How can you score 24 points and you start 7 kickers?
So bad.
Seriously.
I know, but when Evan showed it to me, he was like, "You've got to see this." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Look at Dwayne,
24 points.
24
24
points.
You gotta be
points.
kidding me. What
Okay,
kind of league is this? How's it set up?
It's standard league. Standard.
Wow.
Okay, so this is his lineup: Carson Palmer,
Terrible week.
Carlos Hyde,
Okay.
Latavius Murray,
Why would you start him?
Des Bryant, Brendan LaFell, Greg Olson. Okay, Brandon Marshall, and
Yeah,
Chris
he did
Hogan.
terrible.
Chris
And he didn't get any catches. Yeah, wow. And what's his bench look
His
like?
bench is Jay Ajayi, who had a we had a bye
Okay,
'cause
so,
of Hurricane
yeah.
Irma. Cam Newton's his backup quarterback,
Which he
Even-
should have started over. Palmer.
Jarvis Landry,
Okay. So he has 2 good Dolphins.
USF grad Marlon Mack,
Okay.
Malcolm Mitchell,
Mm-hmm.
Mike Williams, David Njoku, and TJ Yeldon. All who had zeros.
Yeah, so he needs to hit that waiver wire hard, and he needs the Dolphins to play this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, he actually did hit the waiver wire this week, but his team is still terrible.
Yeah, I'm sure he picked up Marlon Mack this week. Didn't
So I think the league consensus for the Sacco punishment is I think a dress, and then there's a bumper.
he? This is after the whole each week or after the league's
After
over?
the league's over, yeah.
Okay,
The bumper
wow.
sticker is
Lindo out to a significant lead on that one, I'm sure.
I feel bad too. I'm like, damn, 24 points. I've never seen that
No
happen.
way. I've never seen that in my life.
So we can give him shit on Sunday.
Oh, we will tomorrow.
I mean,
We're
Russell
gonna
put
let
up
him know.
78, and I thought that was bad.
That's what I put up to beat Evan by 2 points.
No, you put up 76.
No, I put up 78. You put up 76.
Okay, whatever.
2 points.
It's week 1.
I still beat you.
It's week 1.
I
It was a
still
weird
beat
week.
you.
It was a really weird
Yeah.
week.
Listen,
Very-
if I had to put Gillisley in, you'd have been done.
Whatever, man. It's week 1.
I still
I
won.
play you again.
Wait, did you say you're not starting Gillisley this week?
No,
then?
I said I am.
Oh,
Oh, he's in this
I
week.
didn't hear
So
you
get
say
0
yes.
points this week.
You want to bet?
Here we go
Here
again.
we go.
Eric's on a 1-game bet win streak.
I know, and
here he
he's
goes.
puffing out his chest
I am.
and everything.
I'm telling you. Eagles win against the Redskins on the road. I beat you in fantasy. It was a good week for me. What can I say?
Whatever.
All right. Let's talk about, even though I don't like talking about this man, but in all sincerity, how Marvin Lewis, and I know I keep going back to it, but how this man still has a NFL head coaching job is beyond me. They haven't scored a touchdown in 8 quarters. That hasn't happened in almost a century. And I just don't – I'm still not convinced that he is the guy who should continually be getting extensions and should be a head coach. And I just need some help here because I am on the fire Marvin Lewis. I'm starting to chant. I'm telling you, the T-shirt, if you don't order it, I'm going to order it. I'm going to have, instead of Goodell's face with the clown nose, I'm going to have his face with a clown nose. And fire Marvin Lewis. This guy sucks. And then they say that the answer to the problem is you fire Ken Zampese. Really? You're going to fire this guy? Give him an opportunity. But Marvin Lewis, his track record speaks for itself. He is not the head coach. He might be a great offensive or defensive coordinator, but as a head coach, Marvin Lewis, you stink. You do. And you need to be gone from that position.
Well, he walked in on somebody doing something wrong in that Bengals facility, I think, and he has some bad juice on somebody because there's no way. I mean, you can't unless the Bengals fans are okay with just getting to the playoffs and losing.
They are,
and at this
apparently.
point. And at this point, they're not even going to get to the playoffs. But he keeps getting an extension or whatnot. So, fact of the matter is, Ken Zampese, yeah, he got fired. Maybe it was a good move. Maybe it wasn't. I mean, was he responsible for them driving and Joe Mixon fumbling the football? No. You know, was he responsible for A.J. Green not getting as many targets? Maybe. I don't know. But if I'm Andy Dalton, I'm staring down A.J. Green. They tell you not to do it, I'm doing that. And I'm giving him at least 10 targets, which he did not get. Okay? You know, after the game, he came out and said, listen, we need to get our superstars the ball. It's a superstar-driven league. And I haven't really heard in years A.J. Green say anything. So for him to actually sit there and speak up, you know there's something going on in that locker room.
I was totally wrong about John Ross, by the way. He got negative points in fantasy.
If I'm him,
Negative.
if I'm A.J. Green, if I'm Tyler Eifert, you know, I'm going to my agent and saying, don't. I don't care what my contract says. Get me the hell out of here, because it's just wasted talent right now. That's all it is. These are two perennial superstars in the NFL, both the tight end and wide receiver position, who could go somewhere else and prove to be very beneficial for whatever team they're on. But they stay in Cincinnati, and I'm like, I don't know what ties you guys may or may not have to Cincinnati, but get the hell out of
And
there.
listen, outside of that one run that Deshaun Watson had, the defense played great. Geno Atkins was a beast out there.
Yeah.
So the fact that the Bengals couldn't muster up any touchdowns at home on a short week against a Houston secondary that is not good. The Houston secondary is not good. They lost their 2 starting cornerbacks. They're on backup corners. Granted, their front seven's mean, but if you're Andy Dalton, you have to lay it out there for A.J. Green and others. You know? Brandon LaFell had a decent game, but, I mean, Tyler Eifert was making some good catches, but there's no consistency. They didn't go up tempo at all. I mean, everything was bad about it. And it stems from not just the offensive coordinator, but the coach himself. And Marvin Lewis has to be to blame.
He has to. I'm tired of giving the blame to everybody else, which I've never done. But I always feel like you're right, Craig. Is he responsible for the fumble? No, he's not. But if you're the head coach who's drawing up these plays and you're the guy saying that we need to be running this or doing this and it's not being executed or people aren't running their routes, I mean, there's so many other different variables that we could throw in there to say, why are the Bengals 0-2? They shouldn't be. First off, you didn't score a single point against a divisional opponent. And then on a short week, you were at home, and typically on a short week, you know, the Thursday night game more times than not will favor the home team. Didn't happen this week.
It's like 80-85% it favors the home team
right.
on a short week.
So
yeah.
you two gentlemen, and the points that you brought up on Thursday at the office bar were very relevant. It was like, listen, you have all these weapons. You're going to rebound from getting shut out. You didn't expect to see a shutout, which we didn't see. But at the same time, like you said, no up-tempo. There was no sense of urgency. It was like, all right, we're just going out there. It's Thursday. We don't care.
They almost looked lost in every single play.
Yeah.
I mean,
even the Texans, they looked lost, too. I don't think Bill O'Brien still can
Well,
trust
here's the thing
Deshaun
about the
Watson.
Texans, though. I'm saying it was the first official start for Deshaun Watson. That team, I can at least give them somewhat of a pass because that team is still trying to gel themselves together. But
congrats to just Deshaun Watson, by the way.
yes,
Not
no.
only did he get his first win, it was his birthday.
Right.
He's hanging out with Mia Khalifa.
I saw that,
So
too.
congrats to him.
Hey, you know what?
Who isn't at this point?
That's true. That's good. Who hasn't? Yeah. Who hasn't slid into her DMs?
Hey, all right. Woo, with that, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk more about football, a little college, a little fantasy. You're listening to us, HNL3. Again, 813-699-5353 is a number. Be right back.
Buenas tardes, señoras y señoritas. Aquí está el DJ Héctor Bonifacio Echeverría Cervantes de la Cruz Arroyo Rojas. Esta es la radio que sacó.
To all the killers and the $100 billers. For real, niggas who ain't got no feelings. Check it out now.
And welcome back to HNL3 here at Co-Work Studios. It's your man Eric Wilson, joined by the great Al Bushman and Dr. CC in the building. All right, gentlemen, let's switch gears. Talk a little college football because as Craig started the show off today with the war chant for his USF Bulls, they had a very decisive win last night.
Mine too.
And the great Al Bushman's.
I went there
Okay, but
graduated.
But you also came in the other day
from there.
in Florida State gear.
Go
So
Bulls.
I always consider the Seminoles to be your team.
Well, they are. And also, I went to USF too.
Okay, let me correct myself. The great Al Bushman and
It's
Dr.
okay. We're
CC.
used to your corrections. It's fine.
I know.
It's okay.
Is the sixth inning yet?
No, but we do have another hour left.
So hold on, I got to interject real quick.
All right.
So for everyone that doesn't know, Eric Wilson, 15 to 20 minutes into the show on Thursday night last week, decides we're pretty much done. We're going to go ahead and do predictions, while everybody else doing the show looks at each other like, we still got 40 minutes left.
I didn't know we were doing a half-an-hour show, Eric. God.
Oh, man, that was awesome.
Gino's
that
probably
really,
like, all right, I want my money back.
that
Eric."
made my night. It really did.
I'm glad I could be there for you.
Yeah.
Is it because you're old and you forget?
Did you have
As
dinner?
I-
Did you have dinner that night? Or
No,
were you
I
just
did
getting
not.
hungry. I think
No.
you were getting hungry.
I was hungry, but here's the important thing. I was looking up at the TV screen, and it said Thursday Night Football starts in 12 minutes. So I'm thinking, oh, the game's
That's the pregame.
actually
That's the
going to start.
pregame.
I know. I thought it was the actual game. So that's why I was like, oh.
So you got
snap.
confused.
I did.
That's the old man in you talking. Like, hey,
I'm not there yet.
game starting.
So I was, misinformed. A
No,
mistake
you weren't
that-
misinformed. You just got confused.
And why were you looking at the screen
Yeah.
when we're doing the show?
Well, because I was I was trying to align ourselves with what was going on as far as breaking down the game, talking about other things, and I wanted to make sure that we did not go over on our time. Listen, it was our first night there at the
15
Hurricane.
or
Hold on,
20
hold on
minutes
a
into
second.
the show, you
Hold
thought
on.
it was an hour?
Did you hop into your DeLorean and just hop into the future?
No. I don't
Then
have
how
a
did
DeLorean.
you from the start of the show think it was automatically time to go?
Listen, I don't pay attention to the
I
time.
don't even think we took a break at that
Yeah,
point.
no.
No,
hadn't
we
taken
didn't.
one.
We didn't. But here's again. I was looking at it from the standpoint of I don't want us to go over. People were coming in to
You were
listen
looking
to
at
us.
it as like I haven't checked my watch
Right.
in a while.
So I was looking at the TV screen and it said Thursday Night Football starts in 11 minutes. I'm like, oh, snap, we got to hurry this thing up. It won't happen again.
But
okay?
the time frame from where you started the show to that was not an hour.
I don't pay attention to the time when we do the show. I really don't.
Also, not that this isn't as big of an issue because it didn't happen, but it almost happened again. He almost plugged the wrong place.
Yeah, he did. Again.
Come on, Eric.
They are so close.
And then he had to look at us and was like, wait.
You had the look on your face like oh shit.
Yeah.
Like, you caught yourself. You're like
It's so easy for me just to rattle off, hey, every Sunday we're going to be at Old School 1999 Main
But you
Street,
did
beautiful
realize
downtown
it's
it's
Sarasota.
not
Thursday.
1999 either.
1991.
There you go.
And it was a Thursday.
Right.
Not a Sunday.
Right.
And it was a night, not a
was-
morning.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of variables that go into
It's
this.
because he's old. That's why.
It will get better the more repetition that I do.
Just
Okay.
when you can teach an old dog new tricks.
Okay, you know what? From now on, you guys do the plugs around here. Okay? And the first time y'all mess up, don't think I'm going to be the first one. Ooh, go ahead. Yeah, say it. I
All
know
right.
it's the Office Bar.
Are you sure?
Yes.
You're positive.
Is it 1989?
Absolutely. It's 1989,
Okay.
Ringling Boulevard. We are there every Monday, every Thursday night from 7:30 till the start of the game.
There we go.
There it is.
Not 7:30 to 8.
No, not 7.
Not 7:30 to 7:50 either.
Okay, can we move on, please?
Yeah, so you were talking about college. We can get you back to that.
Yeah, thank you.
Don't act like you don't. Because he's like after the show, he's like, I kind of like my old man, vibe I have for the old man role I have for the show.
I
I'm
do.
like, well, good because you are old.
I do.
Forget things.
Listen, I'm 41. I don't consider 41 to be old, but if you
I'm
want to call me-
41. Damn it, I'm a man.
at least I don't need Rogaine or Hair Club for men.
You know what? It makes me distinguish. I don't care.
Okay, I don't care about being 41. Okay, so there you go. Anyhow,
I think
Craig,
everybody at this table has a little bit of old in them.
Craig, college football, USF. You and the great Al Bushman both graduated from there.
Yes, we did.
Let's talk about.
I barely graduated.
Let's talk about the victory that happened against Illinois, like you said, a Big Ten team. First half of the game,
against ex-Buccaneer coach Lovie Smith.
yes, Charlie Strong against Lovie Smith.
Yes.
See, he's doing big things over there in Illinois. Well, he was 2-0 coming in.
Yeah,
at least.
he was.
But more importantly, let's talk about your
You
quarterback.
just can't win at Ray J no matter what. Pros and cons.
It's just the Ray J Demons strike again.
Clinton Flowers. What do you guys see in him?
Clinton, I don't see any. Quentin, I do see something.
Quentin.
Here we go again.
No, honestly, I was just having this. All right, so the reason why I'm laughing is because Eric's trying to eat a protein bar while doing his show and just knocked it on the ground.
Not going anywhere
But
for a while?
Back to USF. The reason why we're having this conversation, I was just having this conversation, you were in the other room, Eric, with the great Al Bushman, and we were talking about Quentin Flowers' awesome production and stats, but does this translate to the NFL? I don't know because, listen, he ran the ball 25 times for 106 yards and a touchdown as a quarterback. He also had a great, day throwing the ball for the most part, 280 yards, 4 touchdowns. So he killed it. He had 5 total touchdowns, but he's definitely a run-first quarterback.
He reminds me, and this is kind of a shot to the head, is he kind of reminds me of a Johnny Manziel. Because Manziel used to run all the time.
Yeah, and that didn't last long.
And that didn't last long. So
He's 6 foot, 220. So, I mean, adequate but not huge, So I'd be interested to see if he really starts working on his pocket passing more, especially when he gets to, which if he continues the season, he will be invited to the combine.
he's got a cannon for an arm. I mean, he's pinpoint accuracy when he's throwing. I mean, he's got he's got that. But
he has a little Michael Vick in him.
He does.
For sure.
He does. He definitely does. I think he still has a lot to learn, especially if he's going to turn pro. But I mean, I was telling you this: they're going in the conference play next week against Temple. With the team that the first couple of games we've seen from them has just been sloppy play.
It has.
Especially, when you're struggling against San Jose State.
Yeah, and you were down at halftime to Stony Brook.
I mean, come
listen,
on.
You can look at the final score. They won by 20, then they won by 13 or 14, but you got to start. If you get out to a bad start against Temple, they're going to lose.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Temple's always played a
and
stuff.
they have now. Granted, the refs did play a lot of part in and the penalties and stuff like that too. But the dumb penalties that happened, I think there was a couple of. I think one of the guys that got ejected last night was his third game being ejected.
That's
for a head-to-head shot. So
great track record.
But Flowers is a great quarterback in that. I mean, that's the reason why he came back. There's a reason why he didn't go pro. So I think he just needs
because he's not ready.
Exactly, he's not ready yet. But I mean, he's a good leader for that team. That's the reason why he stayed, and the reason why he wants to lead this team to an undefeated season. So
but listen, an undefeated season should be on the table.
Exactly, but
because they did not schedule any really, really tough out-of-conference games. Granted, we just won against a Big Ten team. Anytime you can win against a power conference team, then you're gonna take that to the head and be like, listen, that was a great win.
I wish they would have put in at least another Florida school. Like at least they don't play. Well, they play UCF at the end of the year, but at least put a Miami in there or at Florida State.
Well, we had that contract with Florida State that ran out. They didn't renew it for whatever reason.
I would love to see them play Miami
or even Florida.
Yeah.
Or we played Notre Dame that one year. Like you have to get at least that one big school because if you run the table.
They're not going to be.
They're not going to be in the top four because the conference the schedule that they played is too weak. So yeah, they might if they run the table they'll probably be top 10.
Yeah,
but they're not. They're not going to get into the college football playoff, and that's ultimately where you want to be if you're Division I. So
and with their schedule is doable, but I've
unless everybody loses 3 games.
I've said before. I've said this before. They have a week. They have a kind of a mediocre week schedule, but they always seem to lose like the dumb game.
It's always a Thursday game.
Yeah,
and it's always against a team that they should beat, and it always seems to be at home. So it'd be interesting.
They've got Temple. They've got East Carolina.
That should be a win.
And looking at the rest of their schedule.
ECU, Cincinnati, UMass, Tulsa, Houston, UConn, Tulsa again, and
I would see the
Tulane, sorry, and then UCF.
I would see the two biggest teams they would play would be Houston and Connecticut. That would maybe give them a problem.
Yeah, possibly Cincinnati, depending on how they're playing this year. They always play
and
pretty tough.
They don't play Louisville this year.
No.
They've always played Louisville.
They have. Yep.
It's a good thing they didn't.
Why is the UMass game? Why is that canceled?
Well, the UConn game got moved. I'm not sure why.
Because they had to reschedule. I think because of Hurricane Irma, they had to reschedule.
So they're moving. They moved UConn to November 4th, I believe, or something like
November
that.
November 4th.
I don't know why UMass says canceled.
Well, they're playing Cincinnati that day. That's why they had 2 games slated that day for the 14th.
Oh, interesting. So that's just probably a schedule blip.
Yeah, it might be a schedule thing. All right, so you gentlemen are saying that USF ultimately should run the table, but they're not going to be in the postseason. They're not. Okay, they won't be in the playoffs.
They should, but they won't be in the playoffs.
They won't be in the playoffs.
I don't even think they'll run the table. I think they're going to probably have 2 losses because, listen, if you're struggling with Stony Brook losing at halftime, you came out flat against San Jose State. Again, you can't do that against good squads. Maybe they got those out of the way and they're going to move forward. But, Cincinnati, ECU's a good team. Temple's a good team. Later in the season, they play UConn, things like that. So they need to get it together. Granted, they're not huge, powerhouses, top 25 teams right now.
They need to move into a better conference, too.
Yeah, they were in the Big East, which was good at that point in time.
It was a great
The fact that we allowed it to fall apart, as far as basketball and football purposes, it was awesome. And the fact that we were in there and competing at a pretty high level was great. We were beating the Louisvilles, the West Virginias. That's when I was in school there.
Yeah, it was when I was in school.
It was a lot of fun.
Being number 2 in the country, then losing to fucking
and then we lost to Rutgers.
Greg Schiano
on Thursday night.
Ray Rice, yeah.
Yep. But again, the fact that there's nothing on their schedule in the conference is weak. The AAC, you got to find a way to either bring better teams into the AAC and make it a bigger conference, or get on out and join the Big 10, Big 12, Big East, and it's not there anymore, but one of the other conferences.
Do you think we'll finally get a stadium on campus?
Well, judging by last night's game, the stadium just, no, it wasn't full last night by any means.
And they were giving tickets away for free for first responders and high school kids, and it still wasn't packed.
It's tough to fill that stadium, and it's a long drive from USF campus itself.
That's why I think if they put one on campus, I think it would be a lot better.
I liked going there because, the tailgate situation was
and you
fun.
can drink inside the stadium.
You can drink inside the stadium. It's a nice stadium. It's an NFL caliber stadium, obviously. But at the same time, aren't the Bucs home tomorrow?
Yes, they are.
So USF just tore the field up. Now the Bucs got to play on it. That's what I'm saying. I don't even know why the Bucs would sign up for that. At some point you got to build your own
extra money coming in.
Yeah.
Extra money.
Yeah, for Ray J, it's extra. So let's look at some of these college games, and I just want to get you gentlemen who you think is going to fare. I don't really need a breakdown. Just kind of want to go through a couple of them.
Sure.
Let's start with Oklahoma State, number 9, against Pitt. Who do we see winning this game?
Oklahoma State. They have a high-powered offense. They can score pretty much at will. Pitt's not ranked. Over-under in this game, 65. I see pretty much a shootout, but Oklahoma State probably wins by 20.
Okay.
Oklahoma State.
All right. Let's go to here is a matchup for you, 23 versus 24. Tennessee versus Florida. Now, Florida has won 11 of the past 12 games against Tennessee, dating all the way back to 2005.
Are Florida's suspended players back?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, because there was just that one game
against Michigan.
So I think Florida wins this game then. They're at home. They're coming off a loss. They're pretty much right next to each other in rankings. Tennessee did have that double overtime thriller win comeback last week, which if they can build off that momentum, that would be good for them. But I just think that, being at home in the swamp with their players back, Florida takes it.
I'm always going to go against Florida, but actually, I think the Gators are going to win this one. That rivalry against Tennessee has always been a good one. So Florida,
very good rivalry,
especially at home in the swamp.
Now here's one more for you: number 3 Clemson against number 14 Louisville. The last 3 times
the Heisman Trophy winner
between
comes.
the two teams, the last 3 games between the two teams have been decided by 6 points or less, with Clemson winning all 3 of those games. So, will Clemson make it 4 today?
This is a good one. Lamar Jackson for Louisville is such a stud. Probably going to win the Heisman.
Again.
Yeah. I'm going to go an upset here. I'm going to go Louisville.
Louisville.
Yeah.
You always got to do that, man.
Were you going to do it too?
This is my upset pick.
Because we always think alike.
This is my upset.
Seems like it anyway.
Yeah, you two do.
This is my upset pick.
By the way, thank you again for picking Cincinnati on Thursday night. Thank you both.
No, we're going there again?
Yeah,
You're one win against us?
I know.
I take what I can get. I don't look. You know what? Forget.
For Sunday, we have to have better markers. By the way.
Yeah, I'll get
2 out of
some
4
more.
worked.
Yes.
I'll get some more markers.
Yeah, I've got Louisville upsetting Clemson this week.
I also think that's going to happen. They're at home, and I think that Clemson did lose a lot of players last season, so I think that they're not the same team.
Nope, I'm going with Clemson until they play a team that is of their caliber, which right now I don't think Louisville is, even though they are ranked 14th. I'm picking Clemson to win this game. And for injuries, you've got two guys, Edmond and Smith for Clemson, and then for Louisville, you got Jay Alexander and the running back Jay Smith. They're both out, so I'm sold on Clemson. I've bought into the Kool-Aid, as we say from time to time.
Oh, I think they're a good team. I've definitely bought in. I just think that Louisville's going to beat them today.
Yeah. And then, of course, I got my Nittany Lions going up against Georgia State tonight at 7:30. So, we're ranked 5th, and I'm just
we're really bringing up a Georgia State game right now.
It's Penn State. That's what we're talking about. We are Penn State. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
You guys should win that game.
Like, handily. That's like bringing up Georgia against Samford. I mean, come on.
Can't get no love on this show.
Hey,
Florida State playing Wofford.
USC Texas is a good game. I mean, Texas isn't ranked. USC's ranked 4th, but that's always
Isn't
historically been a
this
pretty
their first
good game.
meeting since the national title game, too?
It's a possibility. It could be, yes. I believe it is.
Yeah, first meeting
since 2006 Rose Bowl.
Since the Vince Young game.
That was probably – actually, not probably. That was the best college football game I've ever watched.
One of the greatest games I've ever seen.
And I was watching it. I remember exactly where I was.
So do
I couldn't believe it. I got chills when it happened. I mean, that was fantastic.
I was at Golden Cabaret, the old strip club over by the Soto Square Mall, and I was watching it inside the DJ booth.
Well, I can't top that, but
no, I can't either.
It was a great game.
It was.
Everybody stopped in the club to watch that final play. Even the dancers stopped dancing.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
So, Craig, I know we're going to talk more about this tomorrow, but
okay.
I have to ask you this question, being the Bostonian that you are.
Yes.
Because, as you know, my brother is actually nervous for tomorrow's game. He is. Even though I have tried to convince him, and I've tried to get him to understand, why am I, a non-Patriot fan, having to convince
That's
a
debatable.
true Patriot fan that he is that you guys are going to be okay tomorrow, even without Hightower and Amendola. So don't give me everything because I want to save it for tomorrow.
Yeah.
But can you at least shed some light on this? Because I'm under the mindset of there's no way that Brady is starting 0-2.
Wait, let me ask you, why is Russell so? What's his reason to be nervous?
Because first off, and this is what he says, there's nobody to replace Dante Hightower.
I agree with that statement.
The New England Patriots did not have a next man up should Dante Hightower go down.
Well, they had him. They just decided to trade both of them.
Okay. And then on the flip side of that, you look at the production or non-production of Chris Hogan and the fact that the chemistry still isn't there between Brady and Brandon Cooks, Malcolm Mitchell.
Well, Mitchell's out.
Mitchell's out.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Who's
But
on Dwayne's team, by the way.
Russell still feels like
He's on IR.
Russell still feels like
How funny is that?
he's nervous. He's concerned because Drew Brees is probably the only quarterback with a 3-1 record.
He is. He's only quarterback with a winning record against
Brady.
In
Right.
totality, caught
Yes.
in postseason against Brady.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, but he's nervous for tomorrow. Even though, and I found this out, do you realize since
How funny is it though that he says he's nervous, but yet if I'm at his house and we're losing, I'm like, oh man, this is not looking good. Oh, you're not a believer. You're not a true fan. He tells me. Are you kidding me?
But it's Tom Brady looked old against Kansas City.
I disagree with that.
He looked old, but he's going up
The
against.
whole first half we drove
But
at
hold
will.
hold on now. He's going up against the Saints' Swiss cheese of a defense.
He
Why be
threw a
worried?
65-yard
be
pass
worried?
in the air, and he looks old.
Okay, but here's the thing that I tried to convince Russell. I said, listen to me.
Why be worried?
Since 2004, the Patriots, after a loss, do you know what their record is? 42-6.
Yeah, they're gonna be okay.
That's what I said. That's what I keep trying to say to him. But I'm like, Russell, why are you so? He's actually nervous. He's legitimately nervous.
Well,
so I have to come to you.
Here are the concerns. Well, first off, New Orleans is a different team at home than on the road. They play better in the Superdome. There's no outside elements. Drew Brees knows the stadium like no other. I would start Drew Brees in your fantasy league, by the way, because number one, Hightower's out, and he's going to get garbage time points. So he's going to get a lot of garbage time points. And I think that so stat-wise for fantasy purposes, he'll probably do all right. I don't know what the Dolphins are because they didn't play week one. So I would stay away from that. So I would, asking your question earlier, I would play Drew Brees. And that's against my team. So the fact of the matter is I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. There's still that things in the defense that I wasn't happy about, although I don't think it's as bad as people do think. On one specific possession, Stephon Gilmore and Devin McCourty, they weren't on the same page. Gilmore thought it was zone. It was a man, and that's how Tyreek Hill scored on that long touchdown. Nobody was over the top. Somebody will be over the top this week, for sure. Believe that. We went for it on 2 fourth-down conversions, neither being a Tom Brady quarterback sneak, which he probably has about a 95% success rate on in the last 10 years, and they decided they wanted to run up the middle when they knew they were running up the middle both times. They didn't get those. Both times we were in field goal range. So that's a 6-point positive to negative swing, not to mention if Kansas City goes down and scores. I don't think that'll happen again. The other variable was you have a third-string linebacker that they just signed on Kareem Hunt, and that's where he took the pass and took it to the house. So none of those things are going to happen again. I think that coupled with another week with Brandon Cooks and Brady being on the same page. Listen, Philip Dorsett was in the system for 4 or 5 days when they traded for him. He's going to have that a little bit more chemistry now. Chris Hogan had opportunity last week. A little bit throws were a little bit high. He couldn't get a little bit of separation here and there, but he's a good receiver. I expect him to bounce back. I expect Gronk to have a really good game. They didn't throw him the ball much last week. Eric Berry was on him, obviously. He blew his Achilles out, but they only threw him the ball 4 times. He caught 2. That's still 50% in my estimation. You throw him the ball, give him more targets, he's going to ball out. I see no reason why New England doesn't bounce back and bounce back big. I think it's a statement game. If they do lose, I still don't think I'm not giving up on the season whatsoever.
Right.
Because let's be honest, in that division, you can go 9-7 and make the playoffs.
But
they're not going to go 9-7.
I was going to say, but the Patriots don't go 9-7.
No. Listen, if they lose this game and we need to make a trade or two, we have 4 backs that are capable of it. They've already started talking about possibly trading Deion Lewis. We can get something for him, whether it be a linebacker, a pass rusher. There's going to be things that happen throughout the whole season. I'm not concerned. Listen, we raised the banner. It was an emotional night. We played awesome the first half. We didn't the second.
Call
Pretty
Russell.
much simple as that.
Call Russell.
Yeah, please call him.
Call him.
Because he's like,
Well, he should be listening.
he's still asleep. Although it
shame.
is almost 10, so
That's a
he's
shame.
probably
He told me
getting
he
up.
doesn't sleep. He says he sleeps 2 hours a night.
He might be up. I don't know. But that's what I'm saying
vampire?
to you. Like last night,
2 hours?
He told me.
seriously, there are some nights like it'll be midnight and he'll still be up watching like
Christian Bale and
what's
that
the
one movie? Machinist.
tattoo show, Tattoo Inc. or whatever.
Nah, I don't know. I don't watch that show.
He's watching that, or he's watching. He loves the show The Mist.
Also haven't seen it.
Yeah,
It's a great movie.
maybe that's it.
It was a movie.
Okay,
It turned into a DVD.
on
show.
IFC or
It's
whatever
really
that channel.
an
I
F
don't
you of
know.
an ending, though.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't
I
seen
want
it.
to spoil for everybody.
Okay. All right. Well, let's take another break.
He kills everybody.
When we when we come back, we're gonna touch on some more stuff here in the NFL, and of course, some news and notes, highlights from the week that was. You are listening to us, HNL3. As always, 813-699-5353 is the number. Be right back. And welcome back to HNL3 here at Cowork Studio. It's your man Eric Wilson, joined by Craig and the great Al Bushman. Again, tomorrow morning, people, 11:30. Make sure you are at Old School Bar and Grill, 1991 Main Street, beautiful downtown Sarasota.
He did it right. Yay!
He usually gets the old school one right. He usually gets the old school one right.
We are going to get started. It is our kickoff. It is season 2. You have to make sure you're going to be there. 50-50 raffle. They've got we got some.
Have you decided to make a shirt for that hashtag Get Your Popcorn Ready yet?
I have to talk to T.O. about that. I don't know. He might try and sue me if I try to make that T-shirt. But
He does need the money.
yeah,
We should make Dwayne a shirt. Hashtag get your scribbles ready.
Yeah.
Get your pen ready.
Exactly. I printed up all the sheets for tomorrow, so we will go over them all. Tomorrow we're breaking down all the Sunday games. Make sure you come in and join us. I mean, they've got the Sunday Bloody Sunday going on. It's going to be a great crowd, great time.
Should we do the
2-for-1s as usual. 50-50 raffle in the house.
Yep.
I know we don't have the raffle wheel yet, but should we do the fan versus host competition?
Let's wait one more week, and we'll start it next week. We'll start at week 3, since we are
It's like we've lost so much.
HNL3.
Well, week
Because of
1
Irma.
screwed us.
I know.
Hurricane Irma.
know.
Feels like we're
Like-
we're like later in the season. now.
Backtracking.
I know.
I feel like I didn't even watch football last week.
Listen, Hurricane Irma may have hit us, but
That bitch.
football gave us a lot of hope. And, we want to send a special shout out to our friends and family who might still be without power. Listen, get at us if you guys need anything, because we have power. We are very fortunate, very blessed to where we were living, we did not severe or suffer any type of effect. Might have ran out of power for a little bit, but we're good to go, which is why we're keeping the show going. And
A big shout out to everybody that's come together for charities and stuff.
Yeah.
J.J. Watt raising $37 million.
that's huge.
Yeah.
That is huge.
It
Through
is.
social media.
Absolutely. And I've seen some Bucks players are saying they're coming together and
All the first responders.
yep.
I guess they had trucks coming down from New York to help out with FPL, which
Yeah.
was fantastic. So
They're still all over the place if you
Yep.
drive around. I mean, they're still out and about. They have supplies. They're still giving food to people that need it and water and those type of things. And listen, they're working their tails off to try to get everybody that doesn't have power, internet, cable back up and running. And so kudos to them. I know a lot of people probably can't see it if they don't have that, but they're doing a fantastic job. And I've seen a lot of people come together. My whole neighborhood came together, like so much that me and my girlfriend Pam had a conversation. Like, it's amazing.
It is.
I mean, I helped 5 neighbors put up hurricane shutters. They helped me take them down. Like, some of them take them down. They're like, hey, if you need anything here, I'm borrowing a drill bit here. I mean, everybody's just doing a little bit. We're cleaning up yards together, and it's great to really. A lot of times these days, you don't even know your neighbor, but the fact of the matter is everybody's in it for the same reason. And when you have a neighborhood and a community come together, it really shows a lot of faith and hope out there.
What we did was there was a because we were fortunate and blessed to still have power. So on social media, we had a community chat just in the area that I was living in, and people were like, hey, does anybody have any extra wing nuts? Does anybody have, drill bits, some of the other things like water and stuff? So it was great to see communities. And I remember coming out of the house Monday after the storm had passed and just saying hello to complete strangers. Like, we survived, and it was so nice just to see everybody out walking the dogs, getting out the house, helping everybody else, looking at the damage that may or may not have happened. And, to what you said, just everybody just coming together. It was such a great thing. Traffic. Something that, a lot of us sometimes, and I know I'm guilty of this a lot, road rage. I had none. It was like, listen, just come on over, get in, do whatever.
But if you do want to get someplace within 30 minutes, Eric's the guy. Like, if you want to go to Tampa, 30 minutes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Like, he could be the greatest delivery driver in the world.
No.
Like, for Jimmy John's, he would be the top delivery
Would
guy.
he be freaky fast?
He'd
or
be
what?
so freakishly fast, they would have to maybe promote him within a week.
Wow.
No.
Yeah.
No.
He's like an IndyCar
He
driver.
scares people sometimes.
He's literally like, I've driven with him before. One time, we made a bet that I think he made a bet with somebody else that he couldn't get. It might have been you that he couldn't get the gift cards at a certain time and be at Old School, and we're dipping like 6 or 7 different places. Like I think the tires were bald. We were like an Indy car. We were an Indy 500 car.
We went to a company outing to Busch Gardens. We got to Busch Gardens within like 30 minutes.
No, it was not 30 minutes.
All right, 32 and a half.
32.
We left Peaches in Ellington for breakfast. We left
Okay,
there.
I'm sorry, it wasn't 30 minutes. It was 15 minutes.
No, we left there close to, let's just say 8 o'clock, okay? Yeah, because of traffic, I got there by like 8:40, 8:45. And that's going straight up 75, getting off on Fowler, and then coming down. 45 minutes.
Hey,
what?
Eric, I think you missed your calling by not being a NASCAR driver. You just want to go fast.
I do. It's one of the. It doesn't matter what vehicle I'm in. There was one time where I had a Dodge Ram extended cab, and I drove that thing like it was a Supra.
Oh God,
I did.
People are probably getting out of your way too. That thing's rolling down the street.
Yeah, I did. But anyhow, I want to piggyback off what you're saying, Craig and Great L. Bushman. To all of our family and friends who are out there, if you guys are out of anything, please don't hesitate to reach out, because this is the time where we are going to come together. And listen, I've got a ton of water that I just need to, basically, if anybody needs it. I know our girl Natasha, she was chiming in on the messenger chat, and she was saying that 3 houses away from her, 3 properties are nearly cleaned up. She has no power at her house, and the power pole is still down. She said if you get too close, the hair on your arm stands up.
wow,
Yeah.
Get out
that's
there.
awesome.
Yeah.
But she's in St. Pete, and they interviewed her, and I love your comment, Great L. Bushman. Well, did you plug the show?
Yeah, I mean, at least you're gonna be on air. Plug the show.
That was good.
Be like, hey, this is Natasha. I'm reporter for a whole nother level. Like, oh my God, and then like have the fake cry, like fake tears and stuff.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, again, it was great to see it, and this has made us Florida strong. We're gonna come together. But shout out to everybody who has done their part, especially, and I got to give a lot of love to J.J. Watt. $37 million through social media.
It's almost like he was threatening people.
But he's not that kind of guy.
I know that, but it was just kind
though.
of funny.
It-
Like if you saw his Instagram post, he was like, "I'm going to come over to your house if you don't do this. I will punch you in the neck if you don't do this."
Crazy thing is too, it only takes $1 or $2
Right.
Yeah.
from everybody,
Yeah.
and that's how much money that you can. I mean, obviously, there's people that donate millions of dollars, but literally, like for any like bad thing that happens, whether it be a natural disaster or God forbid, some kind of other attack or anything, $1 from everybody, which everybody can afford, goes a long way. There's so many of us on this earth, on this planet, in the United States that can help out others, and it's just great when it actually comes together and that happens.
And to suffer, in Houston and then here in Florida in like, what, a week's time?
Yeah.
To go from Harvey to Irma. Like when I saw Jose, I was like, don't you bring your ass over here. Dude, you better circle around, go somewhere else.
Jose's just going around in circles drinking Coronas right now.
Something. All right. Let's talk a little more sports here on HNL3. We got to show some love to the Cleveland Indians, even though their streak got snapped by the Kansas City Royals.
Cleveland Windians?
Call them what you want to. Yeah,
They beat the Moneyball streak.
they did.
No more Moneyball.
But they got snapped. But 22 games in a row. 22 in a row. I mean, that speaks volumes. This is a team who last year.
Doesn't speak volumes to me.
Why?
You got to win a World Series first.
I
Don't speak volumes.
I understand.
I agree
that.
You
with
win a
that
World
statement,
Series,
actually.
But
if you don't, it means nothing. Just like Golden State did that 1 year. You can have the record. Don't win a championship. Don't mean nothing.
But you have to at least give them
Nope.
a 1 or
Nope.
2 accolades
Nope.
due to the fact
Nope.
that look at where they were
Nope.
last year in the World Series. And yes, granted, they lost. It was just the Cubbies' time. Okay? But Cleveland, we have known the town, the city. We have known those teams more times than not.
Give me that woe was me.
To
It's
be
Cleveland.
dumpster fires.
Yeah, don't give me that.
Okay?
Don't give me that.
Cleveland
Yeah,
rocks.
don't-
But look what has transpired over the last, and let's just take the last 3 to 4 years. The Indians have gotten better. The Cavaliers won a championship. Okay? The Browns, I think, finally, and I
will win 5 games.
It's still more than they did last year. They almost beat Pittsburgh last
Listen,
week.
Eric, the streak is great. It's great for baseball.
Yeah.
But win a championship and then come back and talk.
But they're on course.
That's great. You're on course, but you can also be on course to not win a championship.
Listen, coming from someone that's team went 18-1.
And didn't win a championship?
Listen,
it's nothing.
You need to win the championship.
I'm not disagreeing with you, gentlemen, in any shape, form, or iota. But
listen, I love any time when baseball there's some kind of streak, or if there's some kind like when the Sammy Sosa McGuire home run thing was going on. That was great for baseball. This was great for baseball this year. But you got to win a championship.
Let me ask you guys this: how many games of this Cleveland streak have you watched?
0.
I've actually watched 2 or 3.
0.
Okay.
I have.
That's 2 or 3 more than the last 10 people that I've asked. So, for that and that itself, I mean, I don't know what to say about that.
Well, I mean, listen, it's preseason.
It's
We're in
because-
football. I mean, so
you just
my
said
priority.
people are watching preseason football over a regular season streak that's happening. That speaks volumes of where baseball actually is right now.
I get that.
Trust me, when you get in the postseason, then you can start looking at, okay, the 22-game streak, is this going to put them in the position to win a championship?
They got 91 wins. I mean,
that means nothing to me right now.
Okay.
You got to win a championship.
All right.
I get, I'll give it up to Terry Francona and the Indians, but you win a championship, then I'll say you could probably had one of the greatest years in baseball history. Until you beat Seattle's win record too.
And the poor Rays, 5.5 games out of the wild
done.
card.
I think I stopped watching them. August?
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah, you
He
said
did.
that they were done back then.
He stopped watching.
It's crazy.
He
though.
had a momentary lapse where they were kind of,
I'll be back there on the 30th to cover them at the last game against the Orioles,
but that's it.
done. They're going to lose so many players in free agency this offseason. The team's going to be gutted.
So right now, as the postseason, kind of nears, what do we have, about 10 to 15 games left or whatnot?
Something like that.
This is how it shakes down. You have Cleveland 91-57 in first. You have Houston 89-58, Boston 84-63, and you have the 2 wild cards right now: the Yankees and the Twins.
You know who I want to give it up to? The Twins. The Twins were in the cellar last year, and now they're in the position to go to the playoffs. That's who I want to give it to. Is the Twins.
I also have to give it up to. Unfortunately, I didn't think the Yankees were going to be any good this year, and we had talked about that on our pregame show.
I
for
think,
the
and plus,
MLB.
can ESPN stop giving love to Aaron Judge and
Oh,
No.
home runs?
Nope.
Because Stanton just blew him out of the water.
Yeah.
So him hitting Judge, he hit 40. Yeah, Stanton's got 50, almost 60 home runs now. You can stop talking about Aaron Judge.
Not going to happen.
And then you got the nationally, you got the Dodgers, which are going to win 100 games.
Who, no matter what, still have a 10-game lead, even though he lost 11 in a row.
Yeah, isn't that nuts?
That's nuts.
And they've won 95 games too, which is nuts. The Nationals, the Cubs, which brought themselves back from where they were earlier in the season, and then you have the Diamondbacks and the Colorado Rockies right now. And the next closest team is 2.5 back from the wild card.
The NL is stacked going into the playoffs. AL not so much. Right now, I can't really pick a clear winner out of
The National League?
the National League to who's going to go to the World Series. Maybe the AL, I could maybe see either the Indians or the Astros. Because the Astros are a really
Just
good
going to
team.
throw out my team like that, huh?
Yes, I'm throwing out the Red Sox.
I don't know.
Sorry.
I mean, you've got, like you said, 147,
We got the best pitcher right
148
now.
games. So there's still
That's
14
one
more.
pitcher.
Dialing
Yes,
up, though.
one pitcher.
Pomerantz is killing it, too, man.
One
What's
pitcher.
up?
You got
David Price back.
You got 14 more games to go before
Okay,
the season is
hold
over.
on. Let's dial it back to David Price.
All right, hold on. Here
You
we
get
go.
into the playoffs. You going to trust David Price in the playoffs? With his record?
He's in the bullpen right now.
Doesn't matter. Get him in the playoffs.
We'll see what happens. Listen, all we have to do is go on a streak. Red Sox still alive, baby.
Will the Red Sox hit 100 wins?
No, they'll hit 90.
No, they're only 84. They don't. Yeah,
All right, there's only
95.
14 games left, so
Yeah.
that'd be 98.
yeah. They'll hit 90.
They'll
which
hit
is
90 though?
Solid
They'll hit 90.
season.
Which, didn't you say that? I think you said 90.
I
I
might have
think, you
said
said,
100.
I think you said 98.
No,
Did I say-
I might
no.
have said 98.
We got to go replay that show. I know I had him at least winning 90. I might have had him winning 100. I think maybe 90 something.
I don't
though.
think you said triple digits. I
Okay.
really don't. But I am pretty sure you said 90.
And you all laughed at me, too.
And we did. We did. There's no question about it because I did not think it was possible. But you know what? I might have to eat some humble pie on that one.
Well, I got to eat humble pie on the Yankees because I thought they would be cellar dwellers, and they're 81 and 66 in the first wild card spot right now.
They'll be out first round.
You think so?
Hope so.
Yep.
Wow. Now, are you being unbiased with this, or is this just a Rays fan and you talking?
I'm being unbiased.
Okay.
Like I said,
Where do the Rays go from here, by the way?
If they finish, I mean, they'll finish. I mean, they are going to finish with more wins than they did last year.
72 and 76.
So,
they might finish 500. We'll see.
If they go 81 and 81, it'll be an accomplishment. But you're going into the into the off season, especially in the winter meetings where you have free agents galore. Cobb is a free agent. Logan Morrison is a free agent. Lucas Duda is a free agent. Steve Shishik is a free agent. So, no matter what, you're going to lose those guys. You may be able to bring back Lucas Duda, but I doubt it.
You just brought him over from the Mets.
He was they brought him over as a trade because they thought they were going to go to the postseason. That's why they brought him over.
I know, but you really don't think that the Rays aren't going to keep him?
No, he'll cost too much money. And plus, you got Jake Bowers in the minors who's ready to come up. Next season, you're going to see a very brand new team of the Rays. You're going to have Honeywell probably come up, Jake Bowers come up, maybe Willie Adames come up. So it's going to be a new look team next year because you're going to lose a lot of guys to free agency. They're probably going to make a lot of moves.
So we're not going to expect much from the Rays next season.
Which is pretty much consistent with every season.
I wouldn't say that, but it's just going to be a different team.
New look
and I
team.
think they should trade Chris Archer.
Oh. Wait a minute. Wait. Hold on.
Yes, I'll eat some humble pie right now.
Wait a minute. Yeah, buddy. Because you were so sold on Chris Archer at the beginning of the season, and you and I went back and forth between Chris Archer and Alex Cobb to the point where I actually conceded and said, you know what? I now understand where you were coming from and why he was the ace.
And I was wrong.
And now you going to backtrack? You going to flip-flop?
I'm not flip-flopping. I'm saying I was wrong.
You going to pump the brakes and say, get rid of Chris Archer? This was your dude. This was your guy.
I'm saying I was wrong. I was wrong.
I'm glad we got this on tape.
I say this because now you could trade him and get something back. You can get a haul back for it.
I'm glad we got this on tape because I'm going to remind you.
You don't have to remind me because I already know
of this.
You don't have to remind me at all.
Listen, the Red Sox will trade you David Price for Chris Archer.
No.
What is that? That's like one. No. Why? Why go backwards?
Because we don't want him anymore.
Well, that's your fault for taking him in the first place.
We paid him too much.
The whole city of Boston doesn't want him anymore.
That's what y'all get. Y'all took him out of Toronto because y'all thought, oh, David Price, he could come in, he could fix the problem for us. We can go to the postseason, we can win a World Series. David Price.
We're still going to.
Actually, that's not
true.
true.
Boy, Chris Sale's at 287 strikeouts, leading the whole MLB.
Actually, that's not
MLB.
true. David Price saw dollar signs. That's why he went to Boston.
All I see is dollar signs.
Dollar signs.
Fair enough. So, do we want to talk about ESPN and their latest debacle? Or
I mean, I don't, but that's up to you
guys. Are
guys.
they even a legitimate network anymore? I'm just tired of ESPN.
They're Roger Goodell is basically what they are. They make decisions based on
political stances.
Yep, and based on whatever they feel at that given time. There's no structure, there's no consistency whatsoever in that field, and it's disheartening.
I only watch one show, and that's PTI, and that's it.
I watch First Take and I'm done.
I can't watch First Take.
I do.
Stephen A. Smith is a moron. I can't watch
The only show that I watch on ESPN is Mike and Mike, and I've always watched them, and I still watch them.
They're terrible, too.
I like them. I've always
Oh, 620 made another weird move. They don't have a mid-morning show anymore. It's now a Dan Patrick show.
Really?
So you have Ronnie T. Kraz, and then a national show, and then the afternoon shows.
Oh, so we need to slide in there and take over the Dan Patrick show? Okay, good. Got it. Good. I like that. We'll reach out to them.
DM right now.
Yeah.
So let's talk. I know basketball is a little ways away, but basketball has made a very interesting, shall we say, I won't say proposition, but I guess an interesting.
It's similar to one.
Yeah. Saying that they are going to start finding teams for resting their players if the players are healthy. So, I mean, let me ask you.
Why?
Why not?
Why?
Because
so you want your star players to play all the games just because it's a business decision because you have to put butts in the seat.
Are they healthy?
If they're healthy,
are they healthy?
You can't rest them a day.
Are they healthy?
You can't rest them.
Are
so later
they
down
healthy?
the line that you can't have them for the playoffs because you may have rested them that one day even though they were healthy and then they got injured down the road?
Are they healthy? If you are healthy, you go to work.
How do you know if they're healthy or not?
How do you know?
Because the team could just be like, "Yep, ankle injury," and then just put that on there, even though they don't have one. Who's to say that they do or don't get injured because nobody's sitting in their practice? You know what I'm saying? So, like, I still think there's ways around this. They have to finalize this if that's what they're going to do. They have to fine tune it. I don't see it really changing too much. I like the concept, but I don't really see it changing too much.
I'm saying if you're healthy, you play. You're healthy, you go to work. I mean, that's how I feel.
I get it.
Jordan and all these guys back in the day, the guys who have paved the way for these players to come in and do now,
Eric,
guess what?
It's a different game now.
The game still resonates the same way. If you are healthy to show up, you perform. Okay? I don't care what
that's
changes
not the
have been
argument.
made.
The argument is this going to prevent teams from basically saying a player's still injured even if they're not because they want to rest them? Is finding them going to do that?
I think so.
But how do you know if the player's, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's that fine line.
It's about integrity.
And at that point in time, I guess investigations will take place if teams are lying and all that type of stuff.
And it's going to take too much time away from the game. So you know what? If you're healthy, go out there and play.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. I've always felt that way. I don't care what sport it is.
I agree with you.
If you can get out there and do your job, go out there and do your job. Because you know what? I don't live in Cleveland. I don't live in Los Angeles. I don't live in Chicago. I can travel down to Miami. I don't live in Boston. But you know what? If I want to see, like, let's take, for example, I'll use the big three because I was always a fan of Pierce, Garnett, and Ray Allen. Okay?
Who finally made up, by the way.
Good. I'm glad.
Finally.
But let's say they come to Orlando twice a year. Okay? And let's say I have the opportunity to go watch those guys play. But let's say Boston is, 7, 8, 9 games up from Orlando. So this game really doesn't make much sense. It's towards the end of the season, getting ready for postseason. I still want to see these guys play. I'm paying my hard-earned money to go to this arena, and I'm traveling 2 hours. I want to go see these three guys play. If you blow out Orlando, guess what? Good. I saw a great game. Why? Because the guys that I wanted to win won.
No, I completely agree with you, and especially for the young fans that go and travel to these games that they've waited for potentially all season long, and they can only afford 1 or 2 games, and they go there, and then the players are resting that they wanted to see. That's unfortunate.
Right. So that's why I'm saying to you, I'm glad that Adam Silver is stepping up and saying, you know what? If you're going to rest these guys when they're healthy, and I think it's going to come down to integrity, then yeah, you're going to.
I will say they still have one of the best systems as far as the lottery, though, because in the NFL, if you finish dead last, you get the first pick automatically.
Yep.
The lottery, you have a higher percentage of getting that pick, but that is not guaranteed. And we've seen it in the past that the team that does quote unquote tank doesn't get that top 1 or 2 picks. They end up at 3 or 4, and that can change the whole dynamic. So I do like that concept better. Maybe they could take a less of percent away from it. You understand what I'm saying? So like I think right now, like the bottom team that finishes dead last has like a, I don't know, what is it, 50% chance or 70% chance of getting that number 1 pick. Maybe they could like bring it to like, listen, you have a 25% chance, and then everybody else is 24, 23, 22, however many teams. So like you can kind of go down like in percentages that way. That would prevent teams from tanking in general because that's not really going to benefit them at all.
I always wondered why they didn't have the really last place team get the first pick and then doing the whole lottery thing for the NBA. I always wondered why.
It's because teams tank, and there's a lot more. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot more games and stuff like that, so it's easier to do.
Look how many years the 76ers were in the toilet, and they got the number 1 pick maybe once or twice out of those couple of years, but they were still in the top 3. But like Craig said, it changed everything. And you had to make trades, or you had to do this or do that. I mean, listen, Brooklyn, we know the Brooklyn Nets are going to be horrible for years to come. Boston's capitalizing on that. Other teams are capitalizing on that because they're taking these picks. So Brooklyn may never get a shot. So what they need to do is figure out either how to win or how to better coach these players so that they can win, because Boston has just been reaping in the benefits from this. Other teams are doing the same thing.
I agree.
Whatever.
Nobody heard you.
Yeah, no one heard you. It's okay, though. Whatever. It's all right. All right, gentlemen. We had a great show today. I'm ready to go ride some go-karts. You ready?
We have 15 minutes left on the show, Eric.
I know.
You want to end early? Actually, 12 minutes.
We
12
don't
minutes.
want to leak our our picks and all of our chatter for the NFL season.
We're
which
saving
is
that for
kicking
tomorrow.
off tomorrow at Old School.
Season 2. I mean,
I'm going to give you the plug. I'm leading into it, Eric.
All right.
Old School tomorrow, Sunday. Take it from here.
1991 Main Street, beautiful downtown Sarasota. The show kicks off at 11:30. Get your popcorn ready, people. We about to take you to a whole nother level. This is going to be a great show. 50-50 raffle. They got 2-for-1 specials. They got food specials going on. We may do. I've been thinking about it during the break. We may do the whole challenge. One of the host things.
I think we should.
Okay.
Well, I think if we, I know we don't have the wheel, but if we have names in a hat or something like that,
Yeah.
I think whoever buys a raffle ticket, put their name in the hat, or put our name in the hat,
Right.
and then they can just pick one out and be like, "Hey, I challenge you to this."
So what kind of challenges are we talking?
Well, we've got the
We can do beer pong, we can do flip cup, we can do challenge the pool, challenge
Jenga, Golden Tee.
Okay. And then would this go on during the show or after the show?
After the show.
after the show.
Okay.
After the show.
After the show.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And then so but no back-to-back weeks. Can't pick the same guy 2-3 times in a row because I suck at Golden Tee. So everybody's
I mean, if I get picked, I'm sorry, but what I'm going to have to do is during commercials, I'll be playing these things because I'm trying to watch my games.
Craig.
I'm just saying.
Craig. There's
It's
TVs
all
all
about the
over.
fan
Believe
Although
it.
I do love some Golden Tea. Haven't played it
Carl,
in a while.
yeah, and there's
It's all
three,
about
and
the
there's
fan
like 2
interaction.
TVs right by Golden
Okay.
Tee.
I
All
tell
right.
you, he's setting us up for success. I mean, the draft that we had at Old
I guess
School.
it's not hard to look at the TV and,
No,
and
it's
throw
not.
a ping
Look,
pong
look.
ball.
Well, here's Golden Tee. Hold on. Okay.
All right.
Or
All
you can
right,
even
all
do
right,
out of your periffs.
Your periffs?
Your
Wow,
Is that the
we're not
plural?
even saying peripheral now.
Is that the plural
Out of your
peripherals?
Yeah.
Periffs?
So many abbreviations and acronyms these days. I don't even know what's going on. NBD.
Look. I'm throwing a ball, but I can still look at the TV.
You can't. Nobody can hear you talking to your mic.
I know.
See, I'm looking
It's because-
up,
it's
but I can
because you have
still
a-
throw a
you-
ball. See? Out of my periffs.
So Evan didn't want to hold the mic anymore, so he has
No.
this little tripod, but then he has to bend over and has like terrible posture while doing it. And
now I'm like hunched over.
and now, and he's getting
There's been so many
he's getting
changes
too
in the
tired
studio.
doing that as well. So now he's just talking way away from it.
Look at here, Quasimodo.
Is that better?
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm fine.
Changes.
I'm fine. Actually, we have to plug that. We have a charity golf tournament
Oh, yes.
later this month. September 30th at the Bobby Jones Golf Course is the Mike LaNympha charity.
BJG in the house. Bobby Jones Golf.
The Mike LaNympha Charity Golf Tournament. If you would like to participate, please message one of us online. We'll give you all the details. We've got a whole bunch of vendors coming out. The Bucks are coming out. BMW is doing, if you get a hole-in-one, you get a free car. Free BMW. That's just really cool. I think a bunch of food vendors are going to be there, so opportunities to give to our buddy that was taken from us a couple months ago to give to his unborn kid who's coming in January. So
Yeah.
it's a good thing for charity too.
Absolutely fantastic. Get out there and get your squad in there. And
We'll
if,
be
and
out
if not,
there.
come out here and support, donate, whatever you got to do.
We'll be out there broadcasting live. I think we're going to be able to do some remotes. So we'll be driving around the golf cart. I might drink too much, so
I'll drive the golf cart.
You're going to drive the golf cart?
Listen, so what are the details to get in this thing?
So I think it's a 4-man team, right?
Yes, it
Okay,
is.
a scramble, I'm sure, right?
So let me pull
Is
this.
it a total score or scramble?
Let me pull this up real quick. Actually, it's on our website, HNL3.com.
Nice plug.
Yes, thank you.
There you go.
Appreciate that. Did you happen to put up the show from Thursday night up there?
It is up there.
It is up there?
The show is up there.
You guys are on top of things here. I like
know.
it. Whole nother level in the house. HNL3, if you will. So we're about to tell you the events coming up
I love
here.
the way this internet's working right now. It's
The internet's a
so-
little slow, but listen,
God.
some people don't have power in internet, so take it with a grain of salt. Okay.
I'm sorry.
It's a blessing to be able to have the power and have the internet.
Listen, I have a portable fan right next to me that is real nice. Okay.
My fiance's 6-year-old, Nyla, asked during the hurricane.
How does it feel to say fiance now? By the way.
It feels different.
Yeah.
So she asked me, "What if we lose power?" I'm like, "Read a book." Because when I was a kid, we didn't have internet. Read a book. Or
Listen-
we'll play Monopoly.
This is funny. This week,
No, we don't play Monopoly at my house.
So one of my patients, real funny story, quick story while you're pulling that up. He came in and he's like, we lost power or whatever. So I called, but his cell phone was still working at that point in time. And he said he called his kids up in New York and asked them if they wanted to come down for a candlelight dinner.
That's
He's like, listen, me and your mom are having candlelight dinner. You guys want to come out and join? Because the power was out. I thought it was pretty funny.
all right. So the golf tournament is Saturday, September 30th. It'll start at 9 a.m. I think it's teams of 4.
Yes.
There will be an after party at Y Buffalo Saloon and a silent auction. Will be for prizes, food, and drinks.
What are the prices to get in?
I think it's $100.
Yes,
100 per
individual
person, right?
players.
Yeah.
$100 includes food and beverage and a swag bag.
Yes, and if you sponsor a hole, it's $1,500. That includes the foursome, the signage, the food and beverage, and the swag bag. Individual players, food, and swag bag.
Yes.
Well, I had to get an HNL3 team in this.
We could do that. I'm terrible at golf, but we could.
You really want me out there?
I would love to see you
You've
out there.
seen me play golf.
I think I'm going to try to get a team in,
Okay.
even if there's only 2 representatives and then 2 others.
All right.
'Cause,
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know. Are we doing? Are you doing the pregame here? Or are we doing the show the whole time?
I think we'll probably do maybe an hour,
Okay.
hour and a half there, and then.
But if we can get a team in,
I need left-handed clubs though.
we got 4 possibilities of getting a hole in one. Yeah, somebody could win a BMW.
That's true.
You know,
Yeah, but who's getting it?
it depends who gets the hole in one.
Yeah.
What do you think? The whole team's getting a BMW? No,
I'm
you're on the team, but if you get it, Eric, good hole in one. Let me get that BMW, bro.
Right.
Come on now, who's getting it? I mean, I guess we could share it. Everybody gets it for a week, a month.
It'd be the whole nother level BMW.
That'd be that handshake. Right? That'd be pretty
That's
cool. Though.
actually a good idea.
You know what I'm saying? Like we can get it decorated like the Molly Maid cars and like all the other gimmicks.
It's actually not a bad idea.
The HNL3 BMW.
HNL3 BMW whip. I think it's going to happen. One of us is getting a hole in one. So I'm going to do a little bit more research in here. I might even try to get a team in.
Okay.
All right.
What you'll need to do is we'll give you the information to contact.
Give me the info.
Our buddy Matt Willis, who's
Yes.
the coordinator of this event.
I would love to represent HNL3, and then also the
Win a
money goes to
BMW?
a fantastic cause.
Yes.
And then he's also going to win a BMW.
Mike was a huge Boston Red Sox fan.
Okay,
And a
there you go.
And a Miami Dolphins.
So
fan,
it could be meant to be.
Yes, that's very true.
Could be meant to be.
So
Cool.
cool.
All right, I got Canelo Alvarez tonight. I know we haven't talked about that at all. There's a big boxing fight tonight, which I thought would get a little bit more, pub and luster due to the Mayweather-McGregor fight that just happened. I have plans tonight, unfortunately, so I probably will not watch it. But I'm going to hopefully. It depends. The main event's on late. I'm not going to order it, but I might stream it live if I get back to the house at a decent time. But I think Canelo Alvarez is going to win this fight. I think he is the future and face of boxing.
Depending on where myself and Mr. Eric Wilson end up, they might show the fight
Very true.
at the Dollhouse or Penthouse Club tonight, celebrating our buddy
Dollhouse.
David Pennington's bachelor party.
That used to be my in my backyard. Actually, I used to work at a restaurant that was right next to the Dollhouse.
Waffle House?
No, it was not Waffle House. No, it was not.
Oh, is that okay?
And this restaurant, actually, we used to give passes to our customers to go next door.
Nice.
And and every time that they showed up,
Free lap
we got
dances?
free entries as well and a little drink action. So it was
Nice.
pretty good. Benefited both parties, if you will.
Yeah, so I think they'll have probably the college games on and the fight, depending on where we go. And then we got dinner at the Penthouse Club at 7.
I've also eaten there.
Very good food.
It's very good. I had a.
Oh, wait, 7?
7.
I thought it was 8.
No.
I had a nice
We had to change
steak there, actually.
Oh.
Well, I guess the food there is it's like Ruth Chris.
It has
or
they have,
Charlie's
they have a
Steakery, yeah.
5-star
Yeah.
steakhouse inside. I believe I got a New York strip last time and it was fantastic.
Surf and turf. There's
I went there for my buddy's bachelor party. It was about 2 years ago now. So you guys are in for a good night. I believe we possibly went to the Dollhouse as well.
7 o'clock.
fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, so we mean, wow. So we're going go-kart until 2:30.
You could take an old man nap before we go.
Yeah, I
up
got to
there.
take a nap.
You're gonna
man.
have to take.
I might
a
take
nap.
a Red Bull. I might actually need a Red Bull for this one.
And who is the lady that bartends there is the so there's a bartender there that does radio. And I believe she was
Are you talking about Carmen?
I am talking-
Carmen on 102.5.
I
She
am
does
talking-
not work there.
She doesn't anymore, but she was
She
there when
used
I
to.
was there.
She was there when I
and
used
I
to
was
go there
chatting
too
her up
as
a
well.
little bit about that because why not? Because we do radio and she did as well, and I was trying to plug our show.
She got a hefty tip for me one day because I spent like a ton of money.
Really?
Yeah, she no longer works there because she's full time at 102.5 now. So
Awesome.
Well, there you go. That just caught my memory a little bit that I remembered that she did work there at that point in time.
Yeah.
But cool, Very cool. It's a good. You guys are gonna have a great time. It's a good spot.
Oh, I've been there before.
Yeah.
I know I'll have a good time. I don't know about old man over here. But.
I have to
Well, it
drive.
depends.
He has to drive.
See, he's like 7 o'clock, so now he's thinking the
Hey,
night
I
starts a
gotta be
little
home by
earlier.
11.
He might, he's gonna have to hang a little longer now.
I'll be fine.
What time did you want to leave?
No, I'm fine.
What time do you want to leave?
No, we'll be
so
fine.
I can prep myself.
We are good.
Okay.
We're good.
So what can I expect from you guys tomorrow? Well, I can expect you to be hungover.
Yes.
Which is fine. Am I gonna? This is what I need from you, Eric.
Yes.
So I need you to make sure that you have everything in place today. That way we're not like you didn't forget the table.
Well,
you didn't forget
The
like
car's already packed.
Here's the thing. So I'm going back to my house after go-karts to get everything together.
Okay.
I'm going to stay at Russell's house.
Okay.
So that way, if I sleep in, he can punch me in the head.
So you're staying over his house tomorrow.
Tonight.
Tonight.
Tonight, I meant.
So I'll have everything in my truck. and
Everything
then
in my
we'll
truck's
leave
already
together
loaded.
and- yeah, so I won't be later.
I mean, I was honestly thinking, but because of time, we won't be able to. I'll say we should run down to Old School and just drop all our stuff off. That way we know it's there for tomorrow.
No, I don't want to do that.
No. But
You don't want.
no,
Sticky fingers.
we will be okay. He will be in rare form.
I'll be in good form.
As long as I have my wireless.
But rare
mic-
form is good form there.
Yes, that
Come on.
is.
Yes.
If I have one of their Sunday Bloody Sundays, I'll be good. Too.
Yeah.
And
Listen,
hate
I
sandwiches.
feel like we put a good show forward when everybody's feeling pretty good over there.
I'm sweating my ass off. Sweating all
It's
that
2 for
alcohol.
1.
Yeah, I know.
2 for 1, guys.
Good.
Get down there. Sunday Bloody Sundays. You got the 2 for 1 beers all day, every day. Sunday football. Basically, in my opinion, this is week 1 because I barely got to watch any football last week due to, you know who, Irma.
I got to watch the late Sunday game and the Monday game.
Really?
Yeah.
I got to watch the 1 and 4 o'clock game.
Did you?
Yeah.
I got to watch the Thursday night game and then the Monday night game.
Oh.
So I didn't watch any football on Sunday.
I watched the 1 o'clock and 4
Well,
o'clock.
at least
on the
you
Red Zone.
guys were able to see your teams play. My team didn't even play last week.
Yeah, but I seen it might have been better to not see my team play because they lost.
That's true.
Is it because he walked under a ladder?
I didn't see him do that, but I'm just saying, like, he is on the cover of
It's
Madden.
because he's on the cover of Madden. That's why.
But I think Julian Edelman took that hit for him, so I think he's good to go
Oh.
now.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, my boy Jules jumped in front of it, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna take the injury out.
there's 14 games
Listen,
left.
Brady's going to dial it up. If you guys are in DraftKings this week, the New Orleans defense is not good,
Swiss cheese it up.
Yep.
and we're going to get that ass. I said it.
Mike Gillisley, boy. Gonna bring me the victory.
TB12, bro.
It's happening. All right. We are riding out of here for the great Al Bushman, Dr. CC, your man Eric Wilson. This has been a great show. Don't forget, tomorrow, Sunday, Old School, 1991 Main Street, beautiful downtown Sarasota,
Yay.
11:30. Get your popcorn ready because Season 2 is kicking off with us at HNL3. This is your man Eric Wilson. Till next time, we've taken you to a whole nother level.
Gee, mate, what do you want to do tonight?
The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.